In this video, we're going to be learning how to create a quote for the customer. This one is going to be a regional quote. It's ozone, and we're not going to be using any customer item numbers or descriptions. So this is going to be a little bit simpler than that, and to do a quote with customer item numbers and descriptions will be done in a different video. So where we left off in the last video is we had created the HPC quote and we imported it into CRM. So we had gone into our opportunity, and then we went up here and we hit this little caret, and we went down and saw line items, and we saw that all of our cases and kits, everything was in here. So we're good there. So now I'm going to go back up and just hit this opportunity again, and now we're in the opportunity. So to create a quote, we go up here and we hit create quote. And I want to point something out to you. I've been doing this a few times, but here's our opportunity number 72101. Then there's a -04. So this means this is the fourth quote that I have done for this opportunity. So we're looking at 04 right now. We're working on this one. So in order to get the right deviations for approval, we have to select the bill to account, and in this case it's ozone. So I'm just going to type in ozone and hit enter, and it comes up. So there could be many different ones. Aldi's, for instance, has a lot of bill to accounts, so you'd have to make sure you look at your job opening and select the right one. But for this example, it is ozone, and we're good to go. The other thing is this master ship to details. At the quote stage, we're assuming all of this equipment is going to ship to the store. So I'm going to fill in the ship to address right now. If later we know it's not going to ship to the store, we can change it, and this is where we do it. But for now, I'm just going to hit this little I, and it says they're going to recommend that the ship to for the end customer associated with this quote. So if I hit apply, it's going to add the same address here that is over on the account information. And so that's what we want to start with here, and that's how I've been doing these. Now you'll notice down here in the corner it says you must provide a value for sales coordinator. It's got one of the red asterisks, so I'm just going to type my name and hit the enter key. And there it is. I'll select it. So I have everything here. And now I'm just going to save this just to make sure that it saves in there. I don't want anything to happen to this. So now here we go. We've got all of this. And so now we're going to scroll down here. And you should recognize these. These are the two departments that we had in HPC. We have a 24-foot produce department and we have a 40-foot dairy department. So we want to start creating a quote based on both of these departments. If we only wanted to do a quote for one of them, we could just check one of the boxes, but I want to do it for both, so I'm just going to hit this box next to description. You'll see it highlights or checks both of the boxes, and then I'm going to come over here and say update. This should put these two departments in here so I'm able to create a quote from these. This has been taking a couple of minutes to get done, and we should see that it is successful as soon as they're done here. So we'll just wait a second and see if it will work for us. There it is. So it says success, line item selection updated. So we're good to go here. So the next thing we do, this is similar to how we could price in HPC. So you can see here we've got many different ways to do this. So we've got a department total, where you can see we've got the 24 feet of produce, the 40 feet of dairy, and we could just go in and put end customer prices here, and that's how we would quote it. You can go by the line level, where it's Excel, dairy Excel. You can go by product. This one is all D5Xs. You can go by model. This one you'll notice that this is what you've seen in CRM before. So this AG78 is a spray hose. Those will show up when you send this over to hops, but this is where you can see them. And then there's also one for options. So this is where we would most likely be using this grid if we're going to be doing it for customer item numbers and descriptions. But for this particular one, we're not going to. So let me go back and I'll show you the customer PO that we're going to be looking at here, since we're recreating this order from one that was already done. So here is our customer Ozone Refrigeration, and here's their purchase order. And if you'll look down here, we've got the 2D5, we've got the 24 feet of multi-deck produce, and the 40 feet of multi-deck dairy. So these are the two departments that we're going to be looking at. And as you can see, this is a department price here. So we're going to be adding these prices into the quote. So let me move this over, and we're going to go to our quote here again. So I'm going to go to the department. And the first department price that was on the customer PO is $14,185.69. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm not sure why it's doing that, but we'll try again. Now you can see red, how it turned red. In the future, that's going to say that you need pricing approval will be needed for this one. For the instance that we're working on, the pricing approval is not needed, but that's what it'll show. It'll turn red if you have to have pricing approval. So the next one down, that total was $20,402.36. So I'm putting that in there. And again, this is kind of being a little bit different today. Put it in one more time, and you can see both of them show red. So in the real world, like I said, they'd have to be pricing approval. This shows you the deviation. It'll show you what our standard cost is, and then it shows you what the gross margin is. So when a quoter is doing this, if they want to do this by the gross margin, they could just go over here and put those prices in. But for today, this is what we want. These two come out exactly what our PO is, so I'm going to hit save. And what will happen here, again, this will take a few minutes, but then it's going to save these prices for us, and we will have our quote completed at this point. Okay, there you saw, I just clicked it one more time and it says pricing data saved. So we've got them here, we're good to go. Now these are the prices that we would want. So our next video, we will start from this quote, and we'll create the order.